Well, some more news in our Pine Barrens, and this has to do not with the wildfire, but with the latest with the Gilgo thing. Yeah, that's right. They're searching the Pine Barrens now in Calverton, or maybe you can call it Manorville, off-line road, which is not, we were there not that long ago. Of course, South Shore 12 has quickly replaced this with ice-slip. Ice-slip put the school district on alert due to threat, of course, spending 1 minute and 54 seconds because it affects the super important people in ice-slip. But we're going to go over here because we don't care about them. They get enough coverage as it is. Let's talk about multiple agencies search Manorville location. So now they're doing searches in the woods, and this may affect hiking trails in this area. So we're going to play this story for you.
Way in Manorville, sources confirming to News 12 it's connected to the Gilgo Beach murder investigation. News 12's crime reporter Krista McNally has the latest developments. Krista, good evening.
And look at that. She's actually standing in the Pine Barrens with an umbrella. Imagine that. Wow. This is what it takes to get them into the Pine Barrens.
Good evening, Joe. That's right. The district attorney's office has confirmed that the New York State Police, NYPD, and Suffolk Police are all assisting their office with an investigation. Now, they would not confirm which ongoing investigation it is at this time. But again, sources confirming to News 12, it is connected to the Gilgo Beach murders investigation. Now, what we have seen is police going in and out of a wooded area here in Manorville throughout the day, much of it in this sprawling preserve near Schultz Road. Neighbors tell News 12 they have seen a law enforcement presence for over 24 hours.
They're in the Pine
Some
Barrens.
of them had investigators on their block and others on their properties.
A lot of police presence and helicopters and dogs and state troopers.
You know, they're combing the area with the helicopters, as you know, just around and around this area. That's all I've seen. I've seen cop cars all over the place.
Some tell us they are concerned because police told them they could not confirm what the search was for.
A cop actually came here yesterday, and I asked him if there was anything to worry about, and he said no.
The K-9 unit was observed going in and out of the preserve, which we are told is state land, many times throughout the day on Wednesday. At one point, people who live nearby say there were dozens of police at St. Peter's and Paul's Roman Catholic Church.
It was 7 o'clock in the morning, and there was like 30 of them in the church, and all day long.
And as News 12 has reported, part of the remains from Gilgo Beach victims, Valerie Mack and Jessica Taylor, were found here in Manorville, and the rest of their remains were found along Ocean Parkway. And now Rex Huerman is not being charged with either of their deaths at this time, and we are not being told if the investigation today is related to either of those victims. That is the latest from Manorville. Krista McNally, News 12, Long Island.
So there you go. They're actually in the Pine Barrens. I can't believe it, but yeah, they were. This area, this area where I was not that long ago, like what last week, we did that long hike. I went to Calverton Pond, so yeah, we're gonna head over there now. So actually, they're saying they're looking off Schultz Road. So I thought they were looking off Line Road, but no, they're actually looking off Schultz Road. Yeah, I thought I heard Line Road on one of the other TV stations mentioned Line Road that they were in, but whatever the case is, they're in the Pine Barrens. Let's see, CBS New York might have something on it, or not. Oh, yeah, here we go. Wooded area of Manorville. So here's another thing. They were in the Pine Barrens here, and they went into a wooded area. I'll let that ad play out. But they were actually off Schultz Road, which is over here, actually, which is also where I was hiking. Otis Pike Preserve. Yeah, right over here. Actually, no, this is Robert Cushman Murphy Preserve. This side is Otis Pike. But yeah, they were actually over here, believe it or not. That's still playing. Oh, I see. When I click away, it forces me to watch it. All right, well, you know what? Never mind. We're not going. We played enough for you. But yeah, it's this general area here. I don't know exactly where she was standing. But this general area over here, actually, which is an old burn area from the Pine Barrens. So it'll be, I don't know if these woods, if it's affecting the, I don't think they're restricting anyone from hiking here. So they're doing a search, but they're not restricting anyone from hiking here. I mean, there's no way to really, do that anyway. But yeah, this is the general area that they're searching, and if you're hiking in the Pine Barrens, you may see all these police cars and the media there. At least it gets the media into the Pine Barrens, which, because Rex is from Massapequa, so of course, should I say Massapequa Park? So, the serial killer from Massapequa Park had involvement in dumping possible. I think this is where she was standing right here. Possibly dumping bodies in the Pine Barrens. Well, no, they were caught dumping. They were dumping bodies here. So it's not just New Jersey, folks. It's not like just The Sopranos. Everybody talks about The Sopranos, but Long Island too. You can see this is an area that's really very, very piney. So you can see this is the area that they were in. So, well, anyway, that's all I'm going to have for you. It's just another short video on this. Obviously, this does affect the Pine Barrens, so we'll talk about it. But all this media is actually in the Pine Barrens, which is pretty interesting. Let's see, NBC New York. We'll see if we can pull up one more story here, if we can. Let's see. Yeah,
There's going to be a new twist in the Gilgo Beach murders investigation, where search teams are looking now. And that is where we begin at 6. I'm Chuck Scarborough.
I hope you check yourself at 6.
Investigators are remaining tight-lipped tonight about what they're looking for out there, but we know the latest search is linked to the Gilgo Beach murders from 14 years ago.
Our crew has spotted cadaver dogs searching a heavily wooded area in Manorville, Long Island today, over an hour drive from Gilgo. And today's scene was eerily similar to what we saw back in 2010, cadaver dogs and detectives probing heavy brush. But back then, the search led to the grisly discovery of women's bodies. Let's get to News 4's Greg Sergel, live in Manorville. Greg?
And Chuck, we learned a short time ago that this police search is continuing in another part of Manorville at this hour. Suffolk Police, State Police, and the NYPD have spent much of the day in this area. And in fact, a resident here told me a short time ago that police have actually been here for the last 2 days. Now, our cameras, as you said, saw NYPD canine units that were searching a large wooded area here in Manorville earlier today. According
I hope
to
that cop
NYPD
has
spokesman,
permethrin because
Suffolk
he's
law
going to get covered in
enforcement
ticks.
officials had asked for the
So is his
help
dog.
because of the size of the area they wanted to search. As for the reason for this search, a law enforcement source familiar with the operation confirms this is all part of the Gilgo murder investigation. But neither Suffolk Police nor the county DA would confirm that today. We also don't know why Manorville was targeted for this search, but we do know that the partial remains of 2 Gilgo victims, Valerie Mack and Jessica Taylor, were found here in Manorville before being located near Gilgo Beach 14 years ago. As you guys said, the scene today resembled that search 14 years ago when 10 sets of human remains were eventually found.
They have reason to
Former
believe
New
that there are
York
probably
City
more bodies
architect
there.
Rex Uerman has been charged with 4 of those murders. He's pleaded not guilty to those charges. Since then, Suffolk's DA has continued to use a county grand jury to try and determine what happened to the other victims. Again, we don't know if anything was found here today. All the Suffolk DA would say is that this is part of an ongoing investigation.
So they're not really saying a whole lot.
Greg
They're pretty
Sergel,
tight-lipped
News 4
about
New
it.
York.
Greg, thank you
but
for
this is involving the Pine Barrens area. So again, it's pretty interesting to have all this media. Now they're going to be at least, we can thank Rex for one thing, and that's getting the media into the Pine Barrens. He may be a evil serial killer, but somehow he got the media into the Pine Barrens because he's from Massapequa, and that's why. So there you go. The media is in the Pine Barrens, and they can, and hopefully they will be there for a while, and hopefully they will, realize the importance of the Pine Barrens. So anyway, yeah, that's all. I've already spent too much time on it, but this is the latest. So again, if I'm and I was thinking of going hiking here now, I don't know if I want to go in that area. I don't want to deal with that. That kind of ruins the whole purpose of going to the Pine Barrens, is when you have a whole media frenzy going on there, and they're going to be all over that area. So that's all I have for you. Have a good night.